Hey Buns, today I'd like to try and sway you into playing a job I'm a big fan of. That is Dancer. I have cleared both of the Shadowbringers, Savage Tears on this job, and it has been my main for most of the expansion. It's a job I've been bedeviled by for quite a few reasons, so let's talk about them. First of all, the stupid good mobility. You are a ranged support, so like the other ranged supports, you don't have to stand there and cast anything. You can just kind of fly around, chucking your chakras at everything. So that gives you a lot of freedom just from being a ranged support. And as a dancer, you also have an avant, aka dash. So if I'm in a bad spot and avant to get out of it, I just boop, dash forward. Now this has a 30-second cooldown, but 3 charges on it. So you are going to be dashing till the cows come home. Just be careful about dashing too much because as of right now, there's no way to use your feathers that you've collected to flap yourself back up onto the platform that you have dashed off of. Trust me, I have tested that extensively. The dash is completely unnecessary. I feel it's only there to make the game easier for you and to make everybody else crazy jealous and mad. It's not so easy for them to bounce out of mechanics at the last second. Second, it's a great beginner job. The rotation is pretty easy to learn, and there's nothing tedious to keep track of. Like, you don't have to worry about dots falling off or your songs running out or any of that mess. The damage buffs that you apply to yourself and your partner are just a natural part of your rotation, so it's pretty effortless to keep them active. And really, the only devilment needs to be manually applied, but it's something that I never really forget because I'm looking forward to pressing it. It's a big burst window when I can burn through all of the feathers and esprit that I collected. Saving up all your esprit and feathers to blow through during a burst window is an integral part of your rotation, but it's not too hard to pull off. It flows really easily, and so because of that, I think it's a good way for a beginner person, to learn about what a burst window is and why it's important, and you can take that knowledge with you into other jobs. You're mostly at range, which is generally safer than melee, just typically because of just the way MMOs tend to work, though you will need to be mindful of when to scoot in close for your AoE spells and abilities to hit, or for your dance finishers to hit. The finishers are on a 15 yalm range, so this can give you the sense of awareness, like spatial awareness of when to be in close, when to be further away. And so if you were then to maybe try a melee job after trying dancer, I think the transition will be easier. Outside of that, there's not going to be a whole lot of thinking for you to do, and for me, that is a big plus. Number 3, procs for days. So first, a quick explainer on how this works, just so you can have a general idea of how many procs we get. So your base rotation is Cascade into Fountain, but each one of those has a 50% chance to proc better buttons, Reverse Cascade, and Fountain Fall. And those procs have a chance to proc a feather, which you can smack people with using a fan dance. And doing a fan dance can proc fan dance 3. So playing a dancer is basically like, I heard you like procs. How about a proc for your procs? You can proc while you proc. Might as well call me a proctologist. Now, some people might see all that RNG as a reason to not play dancer, and that is completely understandable. But if you are like me and you A, get bored easily, and B, love surprises, you're probably going to have a blast with the unpredictability of dancer. Yes, sometimes this means the gods will curse you, and although you have executed your rotation flawlessly, the damage just isn't where you feel like you have earned it to be at, and that can feel bad. And then you have to sit in your corner and remind yourself, well, your main role is support after all. Then you'll have a pool where it's like all your name days come at once, and you have so many procs that you just can't even hold all these procs, and it's so much fun that you completely forget about all the times that RNG cursed you. Also related to RNG is the fact you're going to be stacking crit on Dancer, and so that's another layer of RNG that can feel really awesome. Your standard step finisher potency is 1,000, and your technical step finisher potency is 1,500, which is a huge amount. That's like 2 level 80 Black Mage Xenoglossies slamming into your target at the same time when you finish technical step. Yeah, the potencies are pretty high to compensate for the fact that you spent all that previous time dancing, but who cares? It feels so good when it crits. It's just Number 4, the support class fantasies. So more than any other job, Dancer fulfills that fantasy of being the one who brings the buffs to the team. With closed position, you pick a dance partner and it lets that person enjoy all the damage buffs from your standard step all the time, and it lets them have a slice of that delicious devil's food cake of devilment, which is a 20% buff to crit and direct hit for you and your partner, which is massive. You're going to want to put this on the person who's doing the most damage in the party. So generally Black Mage is a good choice, which is kind of funny since they don't really move much. So it's weird that the best dance partner is somebody who's just standing still all the time. It's more like a lap dance, if you ask me. Anyway, for the buffs that you give the party, Technical Step boosts everybody's damage by 5%. Shield Samba gives a 10% party-wide damage reduction, and Curing Waltz will heal everyone around you for 300 potency, but it will also go on your dance partner. So if y'all stack up, that's a 600 potency heal for you and everybody around you. Not too bad for helping your healers top up the party. I think White Mage ass size is 400 potency. So I guess you could say you have a bigger ass size. Number 5, beautiful look and feel. Unlike any other job or class that I have played in any MMO, Dancer is really artfully crafted to feel like a smooth, graceful rotation. Once you get into the flow of it, there's really nothing else that comes close. It's almost like trance-like, flowing through, flying around the battlefield, never having to stop to cast. And the spells themselves have this like percussion-like sound effects on them. So you hear little chimes with each press of the button, and it's like an audible rhythm to your dance. It's very immersive, actually. And visually, your spells are gorgeous. Like, this is a new job from the latest expansion, so the spells are really colorful, bright, new, and cool looking. And, you know, I stream Dancer a lot, and people will often come to the stream that are brand new, never seen Final Fantasy XIV at all, and they'll be like, well, I don't know what you're doing, but it looks really cool. It looks awesome. Because Dancer just it's a joy to even watch it visually, watch what's going on. As for the glamour, yes, we have just one job set so far, this being a new job, but it gives us a pretty good idea of what future sets will be like stylistically, and I mean, it's sexy. Like, we are guaranteed to have the sexiest sets of all the jobs. What else do you even need? You're sure to be looking sharp. Well, are you ready to take Dancer for a spin? If you do, I'll have to warn you that shit will hit the fan. To unlock the job, you will need to own Shadowbringers, and you will need another job leveled up to 60, not Blue Mage. We're talking real jobs. Once you've met those requirements, boogie on down to Limsa Limensa Lower Decks and pick up the quest, Shall We Dance? You will be pleased to know that Dancer starts at level 60, so you can waltz right into Stormblood. Have you played Dancer? What do you think about it? Have you stuck with it? Or did you end up switching to a different job? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you and all of your different opinions on this. One of the beautiful things about Final Fantasy XIV is that you can play all jobs on one character. So there's no harm in just trying one and see how it suits you. You can always swap to something else if it doesn't work out. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow warriors of darkness. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!